Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Winning Picks Weekly. As always, I'm joined by my buddy, my co-host, my pal, my video producer for Knicks, Jets, etc. What up, Greg?
What's going on, John? Ready for another week of gambling? Dog days of summer are here. We're falling from NBA, NHL. It's all wrapped up. Now this is where the boys separate themselves from the men, if you will. And the men separate themselves from the boys. We're here. We're ready to bet. Our awesome third chair here, Chip Murphy, is red hot with golf. So I'm ready for these picks. I'm ready to talk. It's kind of a tough week for golf too, but we're gonna do it. We're here to gamble. We're here to talk about gambling. We're here to bet responsibly, and that's what we do. It's what I talk about. So I'm ready for another exciting week.
Dude, talk about separating the boys from the men. You already mentioned our boy, our co-host, Chip Murphy here, but my dude's betting on the John Deere Classic, man. That's why we're here today. We're here to talk some John Deere Classic, some MLB baseball, and I guess to recap how horrid the NBA draft went, maybe some notes for next year. What up, Chip?
Thanks, John. The NBA draft was absolutely horrific. Yeah, we were just talking about it before we came on. The shift with Paolo going number one, what a disaster that was.
Those
Yeah.
tweets.
Oh my God, the Woj tweet shutting everything down the morning of. Complete disaster.
Brutal. But, that's why we're here, man, for Winning Picks Weekly.
Yep.
It's a new week. You got time to look at the John Deere Classic. You got time to look into some baseball. Well, let's just recap this NBA draft real quick. As you mentioned, your Orlando Magic giving everyone the hezzy at the first pick, but not Vegas really. I feel like Vegas was the only people that didn't bite on the pump fake. But Woj had us all in a tizzy as soon as we woke up in the morning, literally lining up. Like Greg literally texted me good morning, and I was like, "Hey, do you want a Twitter update about the draft?" He's like, "Dude, I just woke up. I didn't even send you the Drake draft day music video yet."
Woj was on top of it this year, man. He was all over it until he
Was
wasn't.
he though?
Until he wasn't.
Was he though, Chip?
Was he?
Tell us what happened, man.
Was he? Because he tweeted out what the picks were gonna be in the way he tweets out, like the way he's not allowed to tweet out the picks during the draft, like by his job. So he did that the morning of he's like the projected order is supposed to be, and he tweeted out Jabari Smith is gonna go number one. And then all of a sudden the books all took the picks off the board. You couldn't bet them anymore because, Woj's word is bond. And then all of a sudden yeah, exactly. And all of a sudden everything changed like 5 seconds before the draft. All of a sudden Paolo's going number one and Woj is the one who reports it. Like something a little fishy there by the way that went on. I don't know about that Woj controlled the gambling the day of the draft and who went in number one and everything.
He controlled all of our lives, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, people that were messaging me personally during the day were like, "Oh, should I bet on Ranchero?" I would just like literally copy and paste them the Woj tweet, and I'd be like, "This is how I feel about Jabari Smith versus Ranchero. Like this is it. This is my now new formed opinion on what's gonna happen. 1, 2, 3. I knew Chet was going to. But more importantly than that, the way we were betting mostly had to do around the New York Knicks. And boy, did they change up everything for us, right? I mean, at the very least, AJ Griffin still went in the 11 spot. So if you were thinking, hey, I'm going to take the over on AJ Griffin because it was over 10.5 because it's going to be at 11. At least that didn't bite you. In the butt, but that's basically it. Other than that, if you were trying to bet around picks, I think Ivy going 5 was pretty huge if you had that. But other than that, Chip, I know you mentioned it was tough. We'll start with you, and then we'll jump into Greg because I think Greg had more of a positive day. But let's start on the negative here with Chip on the NBA draft.
Always start with the negative when it comes to gambling. I think I'm one of the many Knicks fans who lost money on Knicks' first pick. Yeah, because I took Ivy. Obviously, that's why DraftKings took it off the board at one point because
Like plus 800, right?
so many Knicks fans were hammering Ivy. I lost money on that. And I think I hedged with Griffin because he was the favorite for so long. I took Griffin too. And shout out if anyone had Trevor Keels as the Knicks' first pick in the draft. I don't even know if he was available to pick, but if you did, congratulations, because these odds must have been crazy.
No, we would know. Darren Ravel would have tweeted it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody, DraftKings would have tweeted that out. That's just crazy. The Knicks pulled that, but yeah, I lost on that. I think I talked about it on the show. I had a feeling and took Chet. One of my bigger bets was Chet to the Rockets. Chet with the third pick.
You're crazy. He was going to OKC he's a perfect player for OKC, and now I'm definitely not afraid to say it on this pod. I said it on the last pod with some trepidation because there's the Knicks, the Knicks, Jets, etc. But here, man, OKC is one of my favorite teams in the NBA. I have no problem saying that out loud here. I cannot wait to watch them next year on League Pass. They're going to be awesome, especially if they re-sign Dort.
Orlando's a League Pass team with Paolo now. And
we'll see.
Paolo, Franz, Cole Anthony. Yeah, you don't think they're going to be fun to watch? Markelle Fultz.
They're going to be fun because I'm curious. Jonathan Isaac, but I don't know if they're necessarily going to be good. I mean, you're the first pick.
You think OKC is going to be good?
Yeah, the first pick didn't work out with Orlando, and then you drafted him, and he doesn't want to be there. I mean, good luck. I mean, it worked out with Steph Curry, but good luck. That's all.
What do you mean the first pick didn't work out?
He didn't go to Orlando.
Paolo?
Yeah, that's the whole. This is the whole issue with the controversy around Orlando is they didn't even speak to him. They literally drafted him without speaking to the guy, and that's why it threw everybody off. And that was why everybody was on top of Jabari Smith to Orlando even before Woj. But Greg, I know you weren't biting. That's why I'm excited that both of you guys are on this pod because I know that Chip was all over that. And Greg, you didn't even want to see the tweet. You weren't biting at all. Tell us how your NBA draft went.
Everyone told me not to bet Paolo Blanchero plus 300. It was the easiest bet I've ever placed. I mean, dude, I just like I said on the episode that we did for it, it gave me such big like NFL draft vibes with Trayvon Walker and Hutchinson. Hutchinson was the number one guy the whole time. Then all of a sudden the odds change like crazy. The odds don't move like that unless something's real. So Vegas is in it to make money. And I mean, I guess
those Woj.
Yeah, honestly,
exactly.
Like Woj, like I don't know what his contract's like at ESPN, but I feel like he would get, I don't know, $1 billion from DraftKings at this point because DraftKings is
or what his contract is with DraftKings, by the way. Too.
Yeah.
Literally, he would get $1 billion. He would literally tell them, "Hey, move these odds right now," and then I'll tweet it out.
Yeah. I mean, it would be insane. So. Yeah, so I mean, that was good. Also, shout out to Chris Persiani, who was on with us. I mean, I think he was talking about, I think in his original mock draft 1 that he did, I think he had the first 5 picks right. He talked about it on the podcast, too, that he had Paolo 1 overall at first. Obviously, the chatter was so hard for Smith that he ended up switching it, but he called the 4th pick about them kind of panicking a little bit, taking who they took, and then he called the 5th pick with Jaden Ivey, so...
Keegan Murray at 4. I mean,
Murray,
there's a lot of.
I
Keegan
saw that
Murray.
comment.
Yeah, a lot of Keegan, but no one thought the Kings would be dumb enough to do it. But dude, if you think the Kings aren't dumb enough, like that's exactly what
Kings are 2 things, man. They're stupid and they're consistent. So he's gotta give it up to him for that.
Yeah. They trying to be the smartest person in the room. It's a combination of stupid and trying to be the smartest person in the room. Like everyone's saying we should take Jaden Ivey. Well, guess what? Keegan Murray is going to be the better player. No, he's not. Sometimes you should just do the thing that everybody else is saying you should do because Jaden Ivey is going to be an absolute stud. And
listen,
I'm
hoping in
the ass again.
I'm hoping with everything in all my bones that he turns out to just be Halliburton. And all this Jaden Ivey stuff just goes away because I know they're all in love with him, but I just don't see. I know I got this Knicks thing behind me, so I'm kind of, You're
hoping Ivey turns into Halliburton?
I just don't think he's going to be as great and amazing as everybody says he's going to be, especially when he's next to Cade. I just don't believe it. That's my personal opinion. I would like him on the Knicks. It would have been fun. I'm not even doing the Deontay Murray trade for Jaden Ivey, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not giving up.
Well, you're not giving up 4 picks for a guy who's never played. Yeah.
No, I'm not giving up an expiring protected first and 2 unprotected Knicks first. There's no way I'm doing that for Ivy if that's what they wanted. No chance. Like literally no chance. I'm not even doing that for Murray.
No chance?
No chance. I'm telling you. I know. I'm telling you. No chance. I'm closing the phone. I'm not doing that for Ivy. I'm not doing that for Deontay Murray. So that's why I just want to throw that out there. I know this is the gambling pod, but I just wanted to give a little jab about the Knicks there. Does anyone have any more notes about the NBA draft?
I mean,
No.
not now. No.
Go ahead. Chip, you guys have something to say, man?
I disagree with you on Jaden Ivey, but who cares now? He's on the Pistons.
Are you taking him Rookie of the Year?
No, Paolo. I'm going to take Rookie of the Year. Paolo's going to score a billion points and win Rookie of the Year.
You don't think there's so many mouths to feed on Orlando?
No, there's one mouth to feed right now, and it's Paolo.
Dude,
right now.
He's gonna good.
You know who I think is gonna win? I think it's gonna be Jabari Smith because the Houston Rockets.
Not enough points. Kevin Porter Jr. is gonna take a billion shots. Jalen Green's gonna take a billion shots. I think it's not enough points.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting talk. I'm excited actually to talk about the Rookie of the Year stuff. Once the rosters are all set.
Well, why I cut you off? Sorry. Why do you think Jabari is going to take it over Paolo though? You think the team will be better?
I think there's going to be no. I think the team's going to be bad, if not worse, than Orlando, just in general, record wise, which I knew could sway the Rookie of the Year votes, of course. But just in terms of actual player, I think he's going to have way more volume opportunities. Being with Houston, there's so many mouths to feed on Orlando, so Banchero might be more efficient, but I think just stats, not advanced stats, but the normal old stats in volume, I believe that Smith might take the cake there, just in terms of volume. I don't think Ivy's gonna get the ball that much because of Cade, or his numbers might not show as much on the Pistons.
Ivy's definitely not gonna win.
Same with Chet, even though I love Chet so much.
There's no way Chet's gonna win. There's no way Chet's gonna win.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it as the year goes on.
Any major takeaways? We did kind of after the NCAA tournament, we kind of did things to remember for next year, which I love because I still think back to some of the stuff that we talked about for that, and it's a must listen before we go into the tournament next year. Anything for this draft or the NBA draft in general for takeaways? Just did you have too many of one type of bet that you ended up not liking? Was there something you missed out on that you wish you took? So, again, just a little time capsule for us for next year.
Yeah. I should have only taken next year when I look at the Knicks first pick bets. I'm either only going to take one guy or I'm just not going to bet it at all because it's too hard to predict what a team is going to do.
Yeah.
Especially a front office like the Knicks.
Yeah.
I may just ignore that prop altogether next year. I think that's a good one to ignore. Yeah, to be honest, I that's the one I learned from the most.
I'm with you. John, anything?
I learned that the smoke around the Kings is fact. Always, every single year, whoever the person that they hone in on, no matter how ridiculous it sounds, it is always the player that they draft. I think it's really important. Because they're going to be back in the lottery, I guarantee you.
Yeah, man, what about OKC? What OKC over the last couple of years is whoever they're projected to take, they usually go after, right? Or am I misremembering?
Yeah, that's I think that's good. Also the Pistons, but they've had it easy. But just those are off the top of my head. Also, I just don't trust the trading teams. You have to not bet on them. The Knicks. A trading team, you can't bet on them exact. If you want it, you got to take Griffin 10.5 over and just chill that way.
Yeah, because the range of outcomes is just too much. Because you're not really picking for yourself; you're picking for other teams now. It's hard. They
trade too much in the draft. They're notorious. Yeah. This front office is notorious draft traders.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you got to take that into account. Also with the Jets, we learned that, right? Jermaine Johnson. That's all I'm thinking in my head. I would have had that. You would have had that chip too. But it was just at different times. Very annoying. And the last thing I'll note is don't believe Woj. Can I add that? Can I
Wow,
add the?
getting ahead. That's quite a take to get ahead on. You might be sitting on that take for a few years,
You
but
can't believe
Woj
Woj
washed
before
up.
that comes out. The day of, like during the draft, yes, but before, I mean, the thing is, it's gonna be Winyama anyway at 1. But I guess like
Yeah.
after that,
Next year.
yeah, I
Next
guess
year,
after
it's a
that,
lock,
don't believe him.
Yeah.
You got what you got, any Greg?
Have Chris back. He was on top of it. He's a great.
Let's
He was a
go.
great guest. I
Let's
mean,
go.
that's
Way
my.
too much praise to Chris right now. He's gonna eat this. He's gonna eat this up.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know all the
and Chip and Chris have been going at it a little bit.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. I love that guy.
All
But,
right,
that's my
Chip. This is your
takeaway.
time to shine, man. Let's transition into Chip's world. I'm not on the green today. As Alex is furiously messaging me, co-host of Knicks Jets, etc., and of KnicksFanTV. Why are you in the middle of the ocean? What's going on here? I was like, I'm just in Chip's world, man. Chip, I went through the John Deere Classic. I recognized 2 names. I physically cannot bet this tournament. I cannot bet this tournament responsibly, at least without you. So walk me through your thinking for this tournament, where the golf world is right now in terms of tournaments coming up, tours coming up, and like, how do I bet this, man?
Before we
Okay.
jump into that, Chip, can we just
go
recap
ahead.
the last couple weeks or bets that you had? I mean, you gave out, I don't know, 2, 3 winners on this last week. You gave out 2 guys to win the tournament 2 weeks ago, and both finished 1 and 2. I mean, do you have a
Yeah.
vibe on this, like you did the last couple weeks, or is this kind of a tough one because of the field?
The last one was the Canadian Open, right? So I had
Travelers was last week, right?
Travelers was last week. So that was just Xander and Rory were 1 and 2. So I picked Xander outright from the beginning, and then Rory after
The first round.
first round. I think. First round.
That's what you gave out. You might have taken him later, but that's the bet that I've tailed you on. I just wish I put more money on.
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
it was like plus
Yeah,
2,700, and it was like it was the easiest bet. You just wake up the next day, you're already cashed your ticket, you're done for the whole tournament
Yeah.
on a Friday.
I just unfortunately I doubled down on Xander and I put Scotty Scheffler in a top 10 parlay and he played like shit on Sunday. But not everyone's gonna play well. But I had
that a lot, huh?
Yeah, he's been pretty inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, lately he's been inconsistent. Yeah, and look, Rory's been Rory, but he's still the favorite in the British. But yeah, I had that. I had the what's it called? I had Xander to win, and then I had Fitzpatrick
Yeah.
to win. So yeah, I've been hot recently, but like with the John Deere, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Because John said you don't recognize anybody in this tournament. I don't recognize a lot of the guys in this thing either. Like I look at the top, and we were talking before we came on. Daniel Berger was the top guy in this tournament, the top ranked guy in this tournament. He was the favorite, and he withdrew because he's hurt. And now the favorite is Webb Simpson on a lot of books, and if you're a golf fan, if you follow golf over the years, you probably recognize his name because his name's so weird. So if you've watched golf before, his name really stands out. So he's one of the favorites. He's someone who I've seen a lot of like experts and stuff bet on. I don't know. It's kind of boring to bet on the favorite in golf, so I don't really do that. Someone who I bet on to win outright was Brendan Todd.
New one. This is a new one, Chip.
Yeah, he's plus 3,500 on DraftKings. This course that they play at, it's known like good putters win on this course. Really good putters win here. And Brendan Todd's been one of the best putters on the tour this year. I want to say, what did he do at the Travelers? He missed the cut at the Travelers. Didn't play well there, but he finished 13th at the Canadian Open. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. And 3rd at the Charles Schwab. So 2 out of the last 3 tournaments he's played, and he's played well. Yeah, he's putted well this year. Like not the best player in the tournament, obviously. But for this, John, you said, what's my strategy? My strategy is look at past history of guys who played well in this tournament. So I did a top 40 parlay.
That's usually how you go about every tournament. I know.
Yeah. And I threw in Charles Howell, who's always played well in this tournament. Steve Stricker, who's finished in the top, who's an older player, but he's finished in the top 20 and the top 10 in this tournament multiple times over the years. And Lucas Glover, who's had a lot of success in this tournament, including he won it last year. And I threw, who's the fourth guy I threw in? Oh, Webb Simpson I threw in because he's the favorite. And so that's four guys.
Recognize.
Yeah. And I think I threw someone else in there, so I can't find it. But yeah, that's at least four guys to throw in a top 40 parlay. It's pretty good. You have to do FanDuel for that. DraftKings is ridiculous. You can't do a top 40 parlay. But you have to do FanDuel for that. It's that would be the one I would do more than the winner because, like you said, you don't know a lot of these names. I think it's better to do a top 40 parlay with guys who've played this course a lot and who have played it well. And I would go with Howell, Stricker, Glover, and throw in Simpson because he's one of the better players in the tournament. And Howell, Stricker, and Glover, or not Howell. Howell's played pretty well recently, but Stricker and Glover to make to be top 40 were both plus money when I did the parlay because, well, Stricker in particular hasn't played too well this year. But I think these are two guys who play better at this course. So I think it's a worthwhile top 40. And I'll tweet it out again tomorrow before the madness of NBA free agency starts. I'm going to put these both out. And maybe I'll succumb to the temptation and just pick another random winner or something, like take Webb Simpson, but hopefully not.
All right, Greg, do you have any thoughts on the John Deere?
Yep. And Chip might have just made me and saved me some money right here. So I was looking at it a little differently. I was looking at just crowdsourcing articles and insight from 6 or 7 different websites, just trying to figure out what other people are taking, if any names kind of overlap a lot or stick out to me, or there's really good reasoning. Usually each person kind of gives a little blurb about why they're taking the pick. I look into it a little bit deeper. I didn't really see that, so I said, screw it. I'm going top 20, and I'm taking the top 2 guys in a parlay. And I threw in one little bit of a longer shot just to get the odds up a little bit. And so I have Webb Simpson and Adam Hadwin. Not sure exactly how Chip feels on Hadwin, but I think he finished 23rd last year. I was just looking it up real quick, so I'm okay with that. He plays the course pretty well, and then a lot of the names above him, there's a lot of names here that aren't in the tournament this year. So, if a lot of these guys weren't there last year, maybe he could have been top 10 or something like that. So I'm just going top 20. And I was going to go Adam Long, but Chip kind of sold me on Brendan Todd. So I'm going to throw him in there. Those 3 are plus 775. Again, Simpson, Hadwin, and Todd. Chip, the only name that I was thinking about is another name that if you follow golf over the years, you've seen here and there. He played pretty well last year at this tournament, but I haven't seen anything from him this year. Zach Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Any thoughts about him?
Yeah, I looked at him too. Yeah. I'm not, I haven't heard his name at all this year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his odds are.
He's plus 300 just to finish in the top 20. I think last year he had a top.
So he probably hasn't played. He probably hasn't played very well this year.
Yeah, I think last year he ranked 20, or last year he finished 17th in the tournament, but I'm not sure how he's playing this year. So because the odds are so long, I think I'm just going to stay away from it. I might, after we get off the podcast, I might look into it a little bit more. And if I end up liking it, I might just throw a quarter unit on it, because I think a quarter unit, $25 would be $850. So that's not bad for a weekend's worth of watching golf. But yeah, I mean, like Chip said, Chip Murphy 7 on Twitter. Follow him. He'll tweet out some stuff tomorrow morning before we start Winning P Weekly. I'll tweet out if I have any changes. But for right now, it's just those 3. Those plus 800, plus 700, something like that. just kind of keep it simple this week. Get gear up for next week. I'm already kind of looking at those odds a little bit. So the last big tournament of the year might have some surprises.
Yeah, very excited for the Open. Very excited for that one.
Yeah, I love the names too. It's like we had the U.S. Open, the Open Championship, now the Open. It's like, come on, PGA, let's get it together a little bit.
Yeah, back at St. Andrews, man. I was already looking at like past St. Andrews results and everything. I'm so pumped for that one.
Yeah. I saw Rory, I think it was like, what, minus 800? That's the lowest I've
Yeah.
seen for someone for a tournament in a while.
By the way, you know whose odds are shocking is Brooks, because he has not played well, and he's got some good odds too. So
he joined the live, bro.
He's going to be a popular bet.
A little preview for next week then, fellas.
Mm-hmm. Not saying I'm taking him.
No.
Just saying
Gotta do
a lot. He's going to be a popular one.
All right. Speaking of popular bets, over on the baseball side of things, Greg, what's going on with your Mets, man? I mean, we want to talk about the Yankees.
Oh, I mean,
haven't stopped winning your bets for you. If you're betting Yankees daily, another sweep right in the Bronx.
Nah, they didn't cover yesterday, so I mean.
Oh, they didn't cover the run line, so it's not good enough. The wins aren't good enough.
They gave up one phantom run in the top of the ninth. It's a terrible beat. I'm still mad about it, as you can tell. So, you know,
what else you mad about,
ridiculous.
man? How's the baseball going?
I think I have to put some money on the Houston Astros to win the World Series, man. They dominated the Mets. They took it to the Yankees. They're playing again. I don't know. You guys are playing another 2-game series.
We have a 1-game versus them. It's really weird.
Dude, we had back-to-back 2-game series against them. I don't know what's going on with the scheduling. I don't know what's up with Houston, but them and the Dodgers are the two teams I'm looking at now at the midway point kind of the season, coming up on the midway point of the season, where I'm thinking I might have to put some money on them because
I can't do it.
Top to bottom hitting, top to bottom pitching. I think they got the best bullpen in baseball right now. They obviously have good starting pitching. Phenomenal hitters, some guys you never heard of, but they just keep turning them out in Houston. So I think I might have to put a little money on them. Might have to put a little money on the Dodgers. They're playing really well.
What about those Braves, bro?
Braves are scaring me a little bit. I'll never bet on the Braves because I hate them. But
that's how I feel about the Astros.
Yeah, how can you bet on the Astros? They're worse. Oh no, I guess the Braves are in your division, so you hate them worse. Yeah.
John Rocker.
Yeah, man, I was in 7th grade saying asshole Chipper Jones chant the crowd at Shea Stadium, man. Like, I hate them. So, so yeah, so
I was I think 26 years old doing the same thing but to the Astros. So
yeah, banging trash cans. No, I mean I don't like the Astros, don't get me wrong, but you just at this point, I don't hate them like I hate the Braves. I don't hate them like you guys would hate them being in the same conference and stuff. So a little money on those two, and then otherwise that I'm just betting good teams against bad teams. It's really that simple. Tonight the Braves are playing the Phillies. I missed that. I should have bet that. I had the Dodgers going. I was looking at the schedule for tomorrow a little bit. The only game that I'm really keeping my eye on, where'd it go? I think is the Dodgers are playing the Padres. Padres are still the best team in baseball covering the run line away. So I like them. They're still covering at a 70% clip. They're 28-12 on the season.
Nice stat.
Yeah, Musgrove is going for them. They're 8-1. He's 8-1 with a 2 ERA against Mitch White, who's pretty good, but he hasn't played a lot this season. He's 1-1 with a 4 ERA. So those are two of the big powerhouse teams in the NL. I believe it was plus 1.5 is minus 170. So I'll take that, and then I'll take some hits and stuff like that for the Padres to try to pull a parlay together. But that's what I've been doing, man. I've just been taking money line run line, and then just 2 or 3 guys to get a hit. I started getting a little crazy with it and kind of pulled back. Now I usually just do 2 guys. I usually just do 2 guys in a game, juices the odds up a little bit, nothing too crazy, and just keep betting good teams against bad teams. It's the dog days of the MLB season. You just gotta. This is where the good teams separate from the bad teams. So, just gotta keep hammering away.
All right. I mean, I've been honestly the only time I bet. I've been way better with myself Man, I've gone such a long way since Korean baseball and the pandemic.
Yeah.
I've been a better with myself with not just betting every game, just like so that I'm scoreboard watching all of them. But every time the Yankees are down, I take them live.
Yeah.
Every single time. And it's been working out so well for me. They're just a complete wagon. I don't know what else to say. I love the Yankees this year, so there's no reason for me to look anywhere else. I feel like the other years I was compensating, like just looking for more baseball, you know what I mean? Because like I can't bet the Yankees today, so now I gotta look somewhere else. I don't look anywhere else, man. I just keep it very focused. I know that Scherzer is back also for the Mets, so that's exciting. It's almost the DeGrom season, right?
Yeah, he's coming back. I think he's gonna get one game in before the All-Star break. Maybe two, but they pushed his schedule. He was supposed to, I think, pitch this week. I think they pushed that back a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, they'll be back. We'll be fine. We'll be going. Right now, we're grinding. If we come out, we get Scherzer back and healthy, and he's good to go, and DeGrom's healthy, and he's good to go, and we're in first place in the division, I mean, it's incredible.
That's how you write it up.
It's incredible. I mean, I thought we would be middle of the pack right now. I thought we'd be fighting. I just get a little nervous about the top end talent. You know, when you go against these teams like Houston. I mean, there's some guy like Houston that he has 5 hits against us in his career. 4 of them are home runs. Like when you go against some of these big teams, the Dodgers too have guys that just yak the ball out of the yard. It's tough to compete when you're hitting singles and doubles every time. So that worries me a little bit. But if our pitching's there and they're not hitting home runs left and right, I think we got as good a shot as anybody right now to bring this home. So.
To win the whole thing, you mean?
Yeah, I think so. If we stay healthy, yeah. I think we have the pitching. I think we have the staff. I mean, we've pitched the whole season without our 2 starting pitchers, and we're in the first place in our division, one of the top teams in the NL. If we come back, that means we're going to have not 6 pitchers, but 8 good starting pitchers that we've used throughout the season, plus a decent middle reliever, plus a good closer. And with Diaz, if he keeps it together. We just need to make a couple moves to shore up our bullpen, I think, at this point. I don't think we need another hitter. I think we just need to kind of lock in a little bit in the 6th, 7th, 8th inning pitcher guys. I think we'll be okay. And the Yankees have been looking good too. I've been following them a lot more this season. To your point, John, I'm finding myself betting 2 or 3 teams and just betting them and watching their games every day because baseball's on every day. So don't overcomplicate it. Stay away from Cincinnati versus Chicago. Find your teams and just stick with it. That's all I've been doing. It's been working out. So I'm going to do it. Yesterday, I did get a little crazy. FanDuel had a home run prop. If you hit a home run for $25, you get $5 for every home run hit in the game. Threw it on Mike Trout. He's hitting home runs left and right. So he hit that. Shohei hit one. A couple other guys hit one. So that was a nice hit.
They still lost.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So,
they're unbelievable.
Other than that, I've been doing the FanDuel stuff. I don't know if you guys do promos on DraftKings and FanDuels. Anytime there's a baseball promo, I do it. And if I hit it, it works. If not, I just get the credit.
You just get your money back. Yeah,
it's been working out. So look for those if you're looking on those. Shop your lines. Look at different sites. But that's my 2 cents on that. That's all I really got for baseball. Unless you guys got something. I don't know if you guys are betting anything, looking at anything.
Just the Yankees, man. Just the Yankees.
Yeah, I was just gonna say only really the Yankees.
One of my buddies does like he'll bet the opposing team. So like he'll bet I don't know who you guys just played. You guys just played
the A's.
The A's. Like he'll bet Oakland. Yeah. He'll bet Oakland, then Oakland goes up, and then he bets the Yankees, and he's plus money on both bets. I kind of stay away from that because I feel like most of the time the Yankees just come out hot and get up on the bad team. You kind of have to hope for Oakland to score 2 or 3 runs early. And even then, sometimes the Yankees are still minus 185, even if they're down 3 runs in the second inning.
The Yankees are still minus money.
Yeah, so I don't really do that, but that is a strategy. To your point, I just wait. Like yesterday, I think the Mets were down 5-0 in the first. Threw $25 on it, plus 600. Had no shot at winning, but you never know. So,
all right. That wraps it up for Winning Picks Weekly. You know what it is. Chip Murphy 7. Like us on Twitter, Winning P Weekly. Get at our YouTube, Knicks, Jets, etc. Like, subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe again. Let us know what you got, as Greg always says. We want to tell your picks.
Comments.
And honestly, thank you for being here with us. We are here to talk out our bets, and we want to hear your bets too. It helps us. This is the dog days of the summer out here, still watching sports. So I
Yeah.
wish we could bet on free agency, but we can't.
I know.
I don't know if you guys saw, we had our best episode last episode yet. At
Let's
least on the
go.
YouTube section. So thank
Yeah.
you
Well,
guys for out
keep it
watching.
rocking, bro.
Yeah,
Keep it
Shout
rocking.
shout out to Chris. As much as he'll want the credit. I'll give it to him.
Give it a like so other people find us. And then also, like you said, for the YouTube, man, check out, we're on the Knicks, Jets, etc. platform. That's how you found us. Check out we talked NBA to start the podcast. You guys have been doing great Knicks episodes because it's heating up for the Knicks right now. So definitely check
I
those
saw
out
the
as
episode
well.
with Jeremy. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, yeah, let's go Knicks, and let's go Chip in the John Deere. Let's go Greg with the daily baseball, guys.
Let's go win a tournament, boys. Let's get some more money coming in for this PGA.
Right before that British Open, I'm down.
Oh my God, the British.